What's up YouTube, Gemini Johnny back again with another compilation of TikTok conspiracy theory videos. You all know I love a good conspiracy theory, so let's see what TikTok can uncover for us today. As always, we're mostly interested in the truth, but we do love a good story. So I may at times take some time to dive a little deeper into these topics, and maybe we'll learn something. If they ever shut down my YouTube, you know what happened, man. I'm just kidding. They're gonna shut me down, they like me. If this is your first time here, welcome. If this is not your first time here, welcome back. Are you subscribed? You should be. Something like 70% of my watchers aren't though, so what's up with that? Merch shop is live. You can go check it out if you'd like to further support the channel. And if you have any ideas for merch you'd like to see in the store in the future, then let me know in the comments and I'll try to make it happen. Now without further ado, let's jump right in.
Here's some of the greatest conspiracy theories of all time. Part 4. The Grinch has a well-known backstory about hating Christmas. However, eventually in the movie, his heart grows 3 sizes and he loves Christmas once again. But this story may continue longer than we think. It is clear that the Grinch isn't exactly right in the head, but during one of the Grinch's wacky stunts, he could have gotten a head injury. This injury would later take a toll on him as he grew old and caused him to lose his memory. After him and his dog died, they were given a new life in a realm called Halloween Town, where they now lived as Jack Skellington and Zero. He later reunites with his love for Christmas, just like he had when he was alive. Both eventually wear a Santa suit, both deliver presents, and both have a doll companion. It may be possible that How the Grinch Stole Christmas and The Nightmare Before Christmas are tied together.
World's most dangerous conspiracy theories. This picture contains a list of conspiracy theories from the most well-known to the darkest. Welcome to Tier 9. Today we're going to be talking about the strange berry picker disappearances. God, that's a mouthful to say. In 2011, a man named David wrote a book called Missing 411. The book covers all of the most unsolved cases of people going missing in national parks. Some people would just wander off the trail, some would fall into the river, and some people didn't even know they were missing. Do you want to know what all of these people had in common right before they went missing? They were all picking berries. Stay with me, it's about to get crazy. One case is 6-year-old Lillian Carney, and in 1897 she went missing right after she was picking berries. According to her parents, she was here for 1 second and gone the next, almost like she just vanished. They notified the police, and around midnight, which was 12 hours later, they found her miles away from where she originally was, and they found her in a dazed trance. It gets even weirder. Police then start to question her on how she went missing, thinking maybe the parents had something to do with it. The little girl didn't even remember walking, which is crazy because she was miles away from where she originally was at. On top of that, she said the sun shined all the time, which would be impossible because it was midnight. Now, this didn't happen just once, but this has happened over 50 times. So are these people just mysteriously going missing in the woods? Or is there something darker here that we don't know about?
I know Mr. Ballin has covered a lot of those stories, and I've never heard anything about berry picking. I don't know what that's all about. I think he actually covered that story of that little girl. But there's a handful of those where a little kid was turned up like miles and miles away. They don't remember it. They don't know how they got there. I think one of the most popular explanations is kidnappings, and then they just like leave the kid. I could imagine.
Found out some really disturbing things about Ellen DeGenerate,
and I'm not worried about that creepy sweatshirt she's wearing.
but as we watch this video, the camera creeps inside of her house, and you can see that weird evil thoughts picture. I looked up the artist and he's into some really satanic stuff. And that's not even the weird thing. Look at this picture of Ellen sitting inside of her home.
This is the picture that was right behind her. Now look at the letters on top. These are the same letters that you write out during satanic rituals.
Look at this picture of her cutting her mother's hair. Now look at the picture above her head and try and figure it out. Oh my goodness.
Scariest conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. This is a list of the conspiracy theories in the world, ranking from the least scary, most normal, commonly known ones, to the darkest of the dark that will ruin your life. Welcome. In this series we're going to be going from the top, most normal ones you probably know, to the most disturbing ones, and the research is probably going to disturb me a lot, so thanks. That said, let's kick off part 1, Area 51. But not how you would imagine. So Area 51, we all know it. It's probably the biggest conspiracy theory out there, well, the most well-known one. And the biggest theory about this place as well. There's aliens living inside, or there was aliens in there. I don't know, but let me know what you think. This guy right here is Bob Lazar. This guy claims that he was hired to work at Area 51 to reverse engineer alien craft. There's actually a documentary all about him. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix, you may have seen it. And this guy is a very clever guy, he's not some nobody. Now first of all, this is his drawing of an alien spacecraft. This is where it gets crazy. We all think this is the main Area 51, don't we? Maybe it is. Or is that what they want us to believe? Now Bob claims that is not where stuff actually happens. It's located miles away, hidden in the desert this area called Area S4. Look into this place, it's hella creepy, and if you actually go to the coordinates, it's basically blurred out, but there's also something crazy which I'll show you later. This is the area it's located in. There is literally nothing around apart from thousands of miles of just desert. I mean, it's not like some bloke's got his house out there. Look on Google Earth or photos online, this is what you'll see. A car park which has quite a lot of cars and vehicles in it. Someone did some research into this and it actually looked like army vehicles as well. You can see these two doors or holes basically into the mountain. And Bob claimed this is actually the entrance to the real Area 51 where he worked. Cassette saying that he reverse engineered the spacecraft. Well, I don't know. What's going on here? Make sure you hit that follow button because this is going to get mental.
Yeah, Bob Lazar is definitely one of the more believable whistleblowers on the alien thing. I liked his story, I like his story. He stuck to the same thing for, going on 40 years at this point. And yeah, it's hard not to believe a guy that tells the same story for 4 decades. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys like Bob Lazar? Do you think he's a plant by the government to spread disinformation? What's your theory on Bob Lazar? And overall, what's your theory on aliens? You think they're real? You think it's government craft? Do you think we're about to be let into the Intergalactic Federation? That'd be tight. It always makes me wonder what kind of food aliens have. And if I can eat it. I hope so. I hope so.
I hope so.
Okay. The pyramids were built by aliens. I know what you're thinking, Matt, what the hell are you going on about? Stop being such an idiot. Fair play, but hear me out. Now, I'm not saying that I believe this, it's just all theory, so don't judge me. Now, this is going to blow your mind, so unless you want to question everything, just keep on scrolling right now. Still here? Let's go. So Elon Musk, who we all of course know, said it's pretty obvious that the pyramids were built by aliens. And here's why. Think about it, the pyramids were built over 4,000 years ago, which is a bloody long time. Now how the hell were people so clever and had such good architecture to build this? The pyramids are literally built perfectly. Like, perfectly. The maths that would be needed to make these would just be astronomical. So how the hell, before all technology and everything, did they manage to build these? Now, pyramids are also, of course, seen as a symbol of, like, the Illuminati and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's on the goddamn dollar bill. With the Illuminati eye, may I add. People have spotted a lot of strange things at the site of the pyramid. Like countless UFO sightings. It's all pretty weird. And where they actually are in terms of their coordinates is extremely strange as well.
Here's some of the greatest conspiracy theories of all time. Part 8. Almost all of us are familiar with the story that an asteroid caused the extinction of dinosaurs around 66 million years ago. But what if I told you that may not be what happened? This theory states that the beginning of humankind used to live on Mars, which was just like Earth at one point, with water even being discovered there. But as time went on, these early humans polluted and damaged the planet so badly that they needed to escape to survive. The people chose 2 people, one male and one female, to send to another planet to get a fresh start. Those 2 people happened to be Adam and Eve. They sent the pair to Earth using an escape pod disguised as a meteor. After crashing into the Earth, the pod disintegrated, leaving only traces of rock behind. They then repopulated and started the society we have today. But now, history seems to be repeating itself. Ever since humankind walked the Earth, we've polluted the Earth to an irreversible degree. So much so that Elon Musk, founder, CEO, and chief engineer at SpaceX, is trying to send us to Mars as soon as the year 2024. The mission's main goal is said to provide the potential to advance research in our solar system, but it could very well be an attempt to go back.
Are we going to Mars this year? Is that what they're trying to do? Because I'm pretty sure they still got rockets blowing up trying to just get to space. I mean, don't get me wrong, SpaceX doing some crazy cool stuff, but I don't know if they're going to Mars this year. How much you get paid to go to Mars? I'll go to Mars. Live stream it. Yeah, that theory was pretty far-fetched, I would say. I don't think that one's, although it would line up with, like, my theory that I was talking about, I think in the last video, that all of the religious texts and myths and stories that we've had for, passed down through generations and generations, all have, like, a kernel of truth in them. Have, like, a little nugget of truth in there somewhere. Like, Noah's Ark and the flood. We have evidence that a flood actually happened. And they talked about a great flood all around the world in all these different cultures in their books and stuff. So we know the flood happened, but everybody interpreted it differently. So maybe it was just a storm, maybe the earth just flooded out for a minute, or maybe maybe it was what the Bible says, or maybe it's what the Quran says. Maybe not every religion, but many cultures had a flood myth of some sort, or a flood story that they passed down. There was I believe that Hinduism had one. I had to go look it up because I couldn't remember them all. The Deucalion in Pyrrha in Greek mythology, the Genesis flood narrative, the Christian one, the Mesopotamian flood stories, and the Cheyenne flood story. So there was a lot of cultures, and I believe the Incans had a flood myth. I believe a lot of Native American tribes had a flood myth. So I think the flood really happened. And all that to say, maybe Adam and Eve did get sent here. Maybe Adam and Eve did happen. Maybe it was two people that repopulated the earth. Maybe they got sent here from another planet. That'd be crazy. Imagine if that's what the government's been hiding all this time. They just don't want you to know that Adam and Eve was real and they just came from another planet. Plot twist, we're the aliens. Probably the most believable thing yet.
World's most dangerous conspiracy theories. This picture contains a list of conspiracy theories from the most well-known to the darkest. Welcome to Tier 7. Alright guys, I know you've missed this series, and the reason for the delay is because I was targeted. I made a video about Bohemian Grove a couple months ago, and ever since then I've received death threats, weird emails, and even got a horrible news article written about me. On top of that, TikTok started taking down every single video I've ever made in the past 2 years. But I'm back now. Today we're going to be talking about the theory known as Finland doesn't exist. You know the country Finland? What if I told you that it didn't exist at all? I know it sounds crazy, but just listen to this. First, ask yourself, do you know anybody from Finland? The population of Finland is around 6.5 million people. Now, if you compare 6.5 million to all of the people in the world, Finland's population makes about 0.09% of the world's population. That's not even a tenth of 1%, so 99.9% of people aren't from Finland. Here's where it gets interesting. We get these numbers from government census, and government census have a 1% error in calculating, meaning that 1% error is 10 times the size of the population of Finland. So statistically, Finland does not exist.
Well, that theory was dumb, but if he's telling the truth about being banned after talking about Bohemian Grove, that's wild. Maybe when my channel is really big, I'll do coverage on that. Because it is a really interesting story. That was how I first came to know Alex Jones, and not a fan. Don't get that twisted. But I was back then. I thought that was cool that he snuck into that. And I don't know, maybe it was all fake, but man, if it was real, that's some weird stuff they're doing in the woods. And you can look up I forget what they call themselves, the Bohemian Group or something? The Bohemian Club, yeah. Oh, it's only a $25,000 initiation fee. It's joined twice. Yeah, it's called the Bohemian Club, and I won't go too in-depth into it on here, but there have been lots of famous members of the Bohemian Club, allegedly. Let's look at it, see if they got a Wikipedia page. Yeah, of course they do. The Bohemian Grove is it's an actual, grove. I think it's a property. I don't think it is. Founding membership. The Bohemian Club was originally founded in April of 1872, and for journalists who wished to promote a fraternal connection among men who enjoyed the arts. It was just a boys' club. That's what it was meant to be. Some prominent figures have been given honorary memberships, such as Richard Nixon and William Randolph Hearst. Members have included some U.S. presidents, many cabinet officials, the CEO and CEOs of large corporations. Give me a list, bro. List of Bohemian Club members. Here we go. I want to be in the Bohemian Club. Feels like some shit Mr. Beast would be in. Mr. Beast, did you start a secret boys club that meets in the woods and burns owl effigies? Mr. Beast, if you're watching this, send me an invite, bro. Come on, Jimmy. He's Jimmy, and you guys are my Jimmies. Jammies. Jimmy, come be a Jimmy. That's my message to Mr. Beast. Jimmy, be a Jimmy. Alright, let's get back to the video. Idiot.
Is time travel possible? And does it already exist? This is terrifying and it's going to make you question everything, so unless you want to be confused out your mind, just keep on scrolling right now. This is your last warning, keep on scrolling. So on a basic level, time travel is already happening, just because of time differences and flying. Like I've had it before where you leave somewhere on Tuesday at 9 AM and you get somewhere else on that same day at 8 AM. Although it's not time travel, it's just because of the time differences, it's still the same concept. Well, this guy right here, Nikola Tesla, he was trying to develop some kind of time travel in the mid-1900s. However, he tragically died and nobody knows what happened. But it was estimated he got pretty close. But his files and all of his tests got sent to the American government, and they don't speak about it, they kept it very secret. I've also have lots of people claiming they're from the future, and claiming that time travel is real. Now, think about this. In the future, when technology is better, they'll probably be able to invent time travel. The past, the present, and the future are all at one. So if they have already developed it in the future, it does already exist for us, and these people could be real. Aliens exist, just not where we think they do. Now this is seriously messed up and is going to blow your mind. So unless you want to be seriously terrified, just keep on scrolling. I mean it, keep on scrolling. If you're still here, be ready. So we've all seen evidence about UFOs and it's up to you whether you believe they're real or not. But this theory here, nah, this is messed up. Right, so we know in the world there are wavelengths. Like you tune into a radio station, you get to different frequencies, different wavelengths. Now this is also similar to when we talk about ghosts. Now the theory is that ghosts and stuff are still on Earth, but they're just on a different wavelength. Meaning that we can't see them, but they can see us and somehow interact with us. Which is why sometimes people claim they hear doors banging and stuff like that, but we can't actually see them. Now this is similar to aliens. What if they do actually exist? And they're literally living all around us. Like they've already come to Earth or whatever. But where they come from is just on a different wavelength, meaning we can't see them. So they're out there, but we can't see them. They could be living among us and we would have no idea.
I'll take you one step further. Say, what if ghosts and aliens are the same thing? If they're on these wavelengths we can't comprehend with our dumb human brains, then they might all be on the same with cryptids. What if Bigfoot jumps in and out of this level of understanding? It's all interdimensional, bro. At the end of the day, it's all interdimensional. It all comes down to there's some other dimension that we don't understand and maybe can't even comprehend. Makes my brain hurt. Can you feel the love?
Here's some of the greatest conspiracy theories of all time. Part 6. The Lion King is one of Disney's most popular and beloved movies. For those who have seen it, I'm sure you all remember Mufasa's tragic death at the hands of Scar. However, it is not made clear what happens to Mufasa's body after Simba runs away. But there's a small detail in the movie that may answer this question. Doing some quick research, you will find that lions only have 2 natural enemies. One of those enemies is hyenas, and the other is other lions. In one of the scenes where Zazu is locked up, you can see Scar playing with a skull. But if you look up what animal it belongs to, you will see that Scar is playing with a lion skull. Scar also lives in his cave with the rest of the hyenas, and it is said that they barely have any food. It is possible that Scar brought Mufasa's body back to his cave, and him and the hyenas ate him together.
The strangest unsolved mysteries from each state. Today we have Alaska. This is One-Eyed Jack, and he's not your typical unsolved mystery because we know exactly what happened to him, where his body is, but we just don't know who he is. Jack was hitchhiking in Boise, Idaho when he wanted to go to Pendleton, Oregon. A driver picked him up and said that he was going to Alaska, and even though Jack didn't want to go to Alaska, he got in the car with him anyways. The reason we know exactly what happened to Jack and what makes this case so strange is that the driver is literally the person that killed him and then went to the police to tell them. The driver said that as they entered Alaska, Jack was being so annoying that he literally killed him and dumped his body on the side of the road. A whole year later, he led the police to Jack's body and then he went to jail. The driver said that before he got in the car, Jack showed him his Oregon driver's license, and he said that his name was John or Jack, but he went with Jack and it just stuck. A lodging accident had happened with his left eye, which is how he only had one eye. He was about 5'11" with long curly black hair. What was weird was that the police could not find an ID on Jack's body, even though the driver said that he showed him his license before. I wonder where it went. The driver died in prison in 2003 and nobody knows who Jack is.
That's crazy one. I've never heard of that, but that looked just like Jon Snow. For all my Game of Thrones fans out there, you know what I'm talking about. Put a fur coat on that dude, just like Kit Harington. Yeah, sad stuff though. Hope they can figure out who he is someday so he can, be laid to rest where he belongs and his family can get closure, Alright, next one. That one just made me sad.
The world's most dangerous conspiracy theories. This picture represents conspiracy theories from the most well-known to the darkest. Some of these theories say once you learn the truth, there's no return. For this series, we're going to be picking some from each category until we reach tier 10, the point of no return. Tier 10 is so scary that some people are saying that I will die before I even reach tier 10. Okay, tier 1. Today we're going to be talking about cryptozoology. Cryptozoology is defined as the search for animals whose existence is disputed. For example, Bigfoot, Chupacabra, and the Loch Ness Monster. For this one, I want to talk about the Ningen. The Ningen is based in Japan. It's an aquatic humanoid creature that can be larger than a whale but also mutate into a human. I know what you're thinking, no way this is real. I thought the same thing until I saw this. In 2007, a company published a magazine with Ningens on the cover. The magazines were completely destroyed with no trace, but I found the PDF file of what it looked like. It gets even weirder. Early February 2013, a huge mysterious object washes ashore that makes locals freak out. 3 days later, the website was taken down without a trace. Doing some more research, I found out that people from Japan created a forum page talking about all of the government corruption that was happening. They then began to speak on the Ningen, and somebody says that he was on the research ship when they captured it on camera, and then government officials raided the boat and even supposedly killing some of the people. 3 days later, the forum page was taken down without a trace, but I found it once again, and take a look at one of the videos somebody posted.
The heck?
So what do you think? Is this Ningen just some myth, or is the government hiding something much darker?
Well, the government's definitely hiding something darker. I don't know if that was a Ningen. I think Ningen. I've never heard of that before though. Maybe it must be like a Japanese thing. In doing this series, I've seen so many things that I hadn't heard of before, and I feel like a lot of the things, they're cross-cultural. Kind of like going back to the flood myth. Like they're all interpreted differently. I feel like all these different cultures have the different names for the same things. I don't know what that was, but that's my overall theory, is that all these different cultures are probably seeing the same types of whatever it is, and they just have different names for it. Or maybe ghosts and cryptids are, localized and as different as humans. That actually probably makes more sense.
Okay, so tier 3. This is the point of no return. Today we're going to be talking about the Denver airport. The Denver International Airport is located in Denver, Colorado. Before we get to the conspiracies, let's go over the facts. During the process of building this airport, they apparently went over budget by $2 billion, and supposedly even more than that. They were also 16 months behind schedule. So now we're going to talk about some of the theories on why they went over a budget of $2 billion and why it took so long to build this airport. One of the most popular theories is that it's an underground facility for the global elite. There's a lot of facts to back this one up, but a construction worker claimed that the reason the delay was so long is because they were moving 5 buildings downstairs. And by downstairs, I mean in this underground tunnel. The second theory is the Mustang statue. This statue is a blue horse on its heels right in the center of the airport. Later, it was given the nickname Blucifer. The reason they call it Blucifer is because of the 4th horseman in the apocalypse in the book of Revelations. And the 4th horseman represents death. A lot of people have taken videos of this horse, and you can literally see red eyes even though there's no LED lights inside of them. The crazy thing is, the sculptor who built the statue actually was killed by it. The statue fell down, crushing him and splitting one of his arteries, killing him instantly. So maybe the reason for the delay was to hide something sinister. The final theory that most people believe is this is a foundation for the Freemasons. The Freemasons have some of the most powerful people in the world, which leads people to speculate that this is a headquarters for the Illuminati. There is even a statue that says March 19th, 1994, and those numbers equal the number 33, which is the highest level of Freemasonry. And under the date, the commission name is New World, hinting to the New World Order. The New World Order is thought to be a small group of people controlling the entire world under one government, creating total power and total wealth. So, do you think this airport accidentally spent over $2 billion, or were they hiding a much darker secret?
Denver airport's definitely weird, man. I've been in it once, and I had like an 8-hour layover there overnight. It was one of the creepiest things, one of the creepiest nights of my life, for sure. They have this weird, if I remember correctly, they have some kind of weird music or some kind of chant or something that plays every once in a while. I don't know if it's on a specific time loop or they just press it when they feel like messing with people. But it is creepy, and I did not like that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the Denver airport. Do you think it's government conspiracy, hidden Freemason Illuminati base? Or is it just a weird airport? I think it's probably somewhere in the middle of that, truthfully. I think it is. I think it's an airport, obviously, but I think they also have all that underground stuff as like backup bunkers and measures for stuff that we hope that we never have to know about. Because if we have to know about those things, then things above ground have not gone well. But there you have it, folks. That is another Conspiracy TikToks video in the books. We did it, we done it. We're doing it some more. If you enjoy this kind of video, you can check out the entire playlist in the description below. You can also go check out my creepy TikToks reactions. Or if you're into something a little more educational, you can always go check out my Out of Place Artifacts video. It'll be right over there. That's why I'm pointing. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you're not subscribed, tell me why in the comments. I'm actually really curious. You can check out the merch store. If you like audiobooks, there's a link for a 30-day free trial to Audible, the link in the description below. I think I said link twice, but that's okay. You get the point. Don't forget to join me every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 4:15 p.m. PST, and join the channel to get an extra video on Mondays, also at 4:15 p.m. PST. And until next time, seek the truth, baby! It felt stupid. Not gonna do that. It sounded way funnier in my head. And until next time, seek the truth.